My unpopular opinion is that Portugal are overrated.
100%, I agree.
Portugal are nowhere near as good as people think they are.
I believe that Robert Lewandowski should get more criticism for how poor Poland have performed in international tournaments during his time as their talisman.
You're watching Football Trending, delivered by Joe and Domino's.
Welcome back to another episode of Football Trending, delivered by Joe and Domino's. I'm Wayne Farry, and as usual, I'm joined by Reuben Pinder. And our guest this week is presenter on Football Daily, Sam Obaseki. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, boys.
I'm going to cut to the chase here. We're going to talk about a group of people that I feel have had perhaps the worst tournament so far. That is the people who backed Turkey as their dark horses.
Yeah.
Turkey lost 2-0 to Wales yesterday. An abject performance. What was going through these people's minds? It was so many people.
Yeah, it was a lot of people, wasn't it? I think the main thing was probably the fact that they've got Soyuncu, who, as we all know, is a brilliant defender.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got Çalhanoğlu, who is a good creator, and they've got Burak Yilmaz, who won Liga. And in theory, that's a good spine.
Yeah.
But I can't really see much quality in the rest of their team. And even tactically, they look a bit all over the place. It's like, are you trying to sit back and counter? And if so, why are you pumping long balls to a 35-year-old down the channels? You can't chase them. You know, it all just looks like a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it didn't make sense at all. Like, I think going, like you just said, because of Yilmaz, I think how they won League and everyone thought he's going to try and lead Turkey to, you know, maybe the latter stages in the Euros. And then the first game, you kind of saw that they don't really have that much of quality outside of those three players. I think Cengiz Ünder, he's good, but he's not that great, you know what I mean?
Do Roma send good players on loan?
Yeah.
Do Roma even have that many good players to begin with?
Yeah.
Never mind send them on loan. Like, I have this kind of feeling that, and this is probably quite harsh on, because a lot of, like, you know, very informed people made these, some people that we spoke to, who have played football at an actual level, whereas we haven't, said them as well. I'm starting to think that it's one person said Turkey to begin with, and then someone heard them, and then someone heard them, and then it just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. And because they had, admittedly, a good record, like finished second in the group behind France, 7 wins, 2 draws.
They took 4 points off France as well.
They did.
So you see those results.
But how many people who said they were their dark horses watched Turkey in the qualification?
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes watching qualifiers anyway, so probably very few bothered to watch Turkey play. Yeah. But as well as taking 4 points off France, they did have a few other mad results. I think they drew with like Latvia and stuff. So they're a very bipolar team, and now they've lost 2 games. So even if they might still go through. Yeah,
but like, based on the 2 games, like, they've been one of the worst teams to watch in the tournament. They've been like really slow, like, you know, they've just been bad. You know what I mean? You have teams that like you're like, okay, they were slightly unlucky. You know, North Macedonia lost to Austria, but they're just kind of limited. But Turkey just seems like, it was a bit like watching Sweden, where it was like, actually Sweden were semi-decent. Turkey just don't seem to have anything about them, really.
Sweden had a plan, and it kind of worked, because they got a point against Spain.
Yeah.
Turkey don't seem to have much of a plan other than, like, just sit back and, as I said, pump the ball down the channels to Yilmaz. But the main problem with Yilmaz playing up front on his own is that for Lille, he had a partner who was younger and faster than him, so he could kind of work as like a facilitator, and you know, he's a big lad, so he would like bring Jonathan David into play. For Turkey, he's all up there on his own, so I don't understand the thinking behind that.
So you mentioned, like we've mentioned, you know, like Yilmaz, Soyuncu, Çalhanoğlu for Milan. Like, why do you think people actually selected Turkey as their dark horses? Is it because they have a few well-known players in big leagues?
I think it's because normally when you have a strong core coming into a tournament like this, it kind of gives you a good chance. But I think when you look at the teams that they're playing against, they, put it simply, they made Chiellini, Bonucci look like they're 25 again. They made Ramsey and Bell look like they're prime players again. So I think teams are looking at their team, especially when the first 5 to 10 minutes when they're playing against them, you could see you can get onto them. They're allowing you to get onto them. So I think they didn't necessarily have a bad team, but they've gone at the tournament in the wrong way. They shouldn't have been, like you said, lumping the ball up to Yilmaz when he can't really run like that. He's playing against experienced defenders. Even Rodon was...
I mean, Turkey were subjected to the full Joe Rodon experience.
It just shows how very few opinions are original. Like, I mean, we're all guilty of it. Like,
totally. Yeah,
so you see like a hot take on a team from somebody that you trust on Twitter, and people just kind of run with it because they recognize.
Totally,
it.
yeah. You know it is like, because you know, we all have conversations where we're like, you know, oh, I saw somebody said this in a tweet last night, and then even without realizing it, it becomes your opinion in your head sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
I think maybe it is just proof as well that like all of us, whether it's former international footballers, journalists, whatever, you need to know more than 4 players in a 26-man squad to be able to judge them at all. You know?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't pretend to know how good Slovakia are going to be coming into this tournament because I know like 2 of their players, and one of them plays in like Sweden now. So.
This is it. Like, you know, it is very much like going, you know, I think Austria could do something here, you know, because they have David Alaba. That's it, like, you know. So yeah, I think I would like to see massive punishments for the people who Turkey as dark horses. I want to see their good football men credentials taken away, and
bring back Twitter prison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
when you used to tweet too many times.
Yeah. Bosh, go to Twitter jail. Okay, so we've all agreed there that was an awful take,
very bad shot.
a Turkey take. So now to kind of put the shoe on the other foot, I would like to hear. We're 1 round of games through now, the tournament. Plenty has happened that we can, you know, form some truly awful opinions, some unpopular opinions. What are your unpopular opinions from the tournament so far?
That's a tough one, you know. It's a tough one. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion because of how well they played in their last few games, but I think Italy can make the final. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion.
It probably would have been before the tournament started. But now, looking at them, you can't look past them. Like they've scored the most goals. Obviously, they've played 2 games, but 2 3-0 wins back to back is like beyond what I think anybody really expected.
Yeah, I don't think any team has ever done that before. Like started with 2 consecutive 3-0 wins. So.
And they're missing Verratti still.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't think they'll miss Chiellini that much. Like, he's obviously very good and he's their captain.
Yeah.
But like Acerbi's a good enough replacement, and they just look. They look so well coached. They look like they're playing like a club team. And I think Jorginho, like, this is the best I've seen Jorginho play for a while. Like, he was good for Chelsea last season, but he's absolutely everywhere. His weaknesses aren't really being exposed. They look like the kind of most well-oiled machine out of all the teams that we've watched, really. So yeah,
totally. And Roberto Mancini in that suit.
Yeah, we you keep mentioning it every time.
And I'm going to continue until like we actually get it on the show somewhere.
To be fair.
Yeah. Go on, give me yours.
My unpopular opinion is that Portugal are overrated.
100%, I agree.
Portugal are nowhere near as good as people think they are. They were the 3-0 scoreline against Hungary flattered them so much. Like, there was I mean, let's not forget, Hungary had the ball in the net. It was marginally offside, so it was correctly disallowed. But like, Portugal didn't look like they have quite the right makeup. So like, they've got Jota, who wants to get in the box and score. They've got Ronaldo, who just wants to hang around in the penalty area and score tap-ins. Then they've got 2 number 10s who aren't really going to get down to the byline and cross the board, like in Bruno and Bernardo. So they've got a lot of individual quality, but I didn't see the makings of like a proper unit when they were playing Hungary. And the kind of like the first goal was, you know, deflected cross, deflected shot. Penalty, you know, quite fortunate to get the penalty. And then the third goal was absolutely brilliant. I'll give them that. The interchange between Bruno and Ronaldo. But if they hadn't won that game, they'd be banging trouble. So like, it's a good job for them that they did. But I can't see them beating Germany or France.
No.
And if England were to meet Portugal in the second round, which is a possibility, I would back us to beat them.
But it wouldn't be unlike Portugal to play absolutely atrociously
and win it
and still win.
Yeah, that's the thing. You saw it in the last tournament. Like, I think they scored 1 in the group stages. They scored like 1 goal or something.
Yeah, it was
like
something
that.
ridiculous.
They got 3 draws, didn't they?
Yeah. And they still won it. But I think they've got the right type of individuals, like individuals that can win you games when things are going up against it. Like Bruno Fernandes, he's just always going to shoot. Ronaldo, always going to shoot. And even off the bench, I think the player that made the biggest difference was Sanchez. He came on, was working a lot, and for me, he should be starting. They've got Neves as well off the bench. So I think they've got a lot of players that are at a good level to play against any team and then they'll be all right.
Yeah, Renato Sanchez was amazing off the bench. Like, he kind of made that, was it the third goal, I think? Because he lost the ball like 3 times while dribbling and kept it again, like, every time.
Yeah.
So, so like, as you say, Sam, like, they don't necessarily look cohesive as a team, but they do have that star quality that will probably get them through, or could get them through. But as I say, I think Germany look better than them.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. Now, my unpopular opinion is going to, like, it's quite spicy. Right? Okay. So, Poland really struggle at international tournaments, and it looks like they're going to struggle again in this one. I believe that Robert Lewandowski should get more criticism for how poor Poland have performed in international tournaments during his time as their talisman.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Let
me tell you what, right? So we know what his strengths are, right? We watch him for Bayern Munich, battering teams non-stop, breaking the Bundesliga record this season. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe that, you know, Bayern Munich have better players than Poland have, absolutely.
I'll take that,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Bayern Munich are better than Poland, that's my take. But, like, he does what he needs to do at Bayern to score goals. He is very much, for me, like Wayne Rooney back in the day for Manchester United. He can't stay where he should stay. He moves all over the pitch. He's trying to do everything. A little bit like Messi as well for Argentina, where it's like, just stay.
Even Kane as well, to be fair.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, figure out what it is that you're supposed to do and stay there, you know? Because he drops deep, and then, you know, and it's happened, like, it's been like this for like 8 years now with Poland. They're crap in tournaments. Like,
they are
really
rubbish.
Bad. They're so bad. And I think that, like, a part of that is that, like, if he just stayed on the penalty spot for 90 minutes, which obviously is not, like, I mean, I'm not a football manager. That's not a tactic to do.
Good job you're not a football
manager. Yeah, exactly. But they would probably do better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just feels like he doesn't. I'm not putting it all on him, right?
I hear you though. I hear you, but it's a tough one because, like you said, the quality is surrounded by at Bayern Munich. If you come to Poland, you're the captain. You're expected to take that responsibility to do more. So realistically, you want to get involved more. You want to drop deeper and maybe link up play because you don't trust the rest of your team.
But doing more can sometimes actually be doing less.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Being aware of what, like, recognize. Because a lot of the time, I would have thought back when Rooney used to do that at United. Yeah, there's like this idea of it being very selfless, but it's actually quite selfish because you're abandoning your positional discipline, all that sort of stuff.
Zlatan used to do it a lot as well, didn't he? He used to drop way too deep, ping it out to the wing, and then not have the pace or energy to get back into the box for the cross that he should be waiting for. I think part of it comes down to this, like, modern obsession with the complete striker.
Yeah.
So, like, Kane has kind of exacerbated that, which was already there, that, like, strikers should be able to drop into the pockets and create space or create chances for the other attackers. But, like, Lewandowski's the only good finisher in that team. So he needs to be on the end of the crosses, but then he doesn't trust his teammates to provide him with the service that he needs. So again, he's trying to do a bit of everything, which does happen with star players sometimes, but like, they should be better than they are. And it's not like they're completely devoid of quality.
No, but they just seem so rudderless, do you know? For a team that have the best, conceivably the best striker in the world, it never feels like they're going to score.
Yeah, but if you're a team coming up against Poland, you shut him out, and you're right. Like, because they don't have the quality elsewhere to kind of contribute as much as he can. If you shut Lewandowski out of the game, you basically won.
This is the thing with international teams that are, like, kind of that level. Something that Wales have that Poland don't have is they've got 2 superstars. So it's much harder to, like, shut them out of the game.
Are you trying to suggest that Jan Bednarak isn't a superstar?
No, of course he is. I mean, that own goal against Man United in the season really.
I think he had 2 own goals in a row actually last season. But this is not Jan Bednarak daily.
You know what I mean though? It's like if you have a very average team but you've got 2 star players, you're a lot harder to defend against than if you've got 1 star player.
And even small pieces as well, like Dan James, he can contribute, he can add a different threat. Like Poland, they don't really have that. So it's tough luck for him, man.
It is tough. So I think I can probably safely assume that you both agree with me. To
an extent.
We move on and I'm correct. So you mentioned it earlier when we were kicking Turkey when they were down. But Wales were really, really impressive against Turkey. They were pretty impressive against Switzerland as well, like fairly limited, but they really, I mean, they deserved their win wholeheartedly last night. Talk to us about that Wales performance and how far do you think they could go in the tournament?
Well, they're basically through now, aren't they? They've got 4 points. They were absolutely brilliant against Turkey, like much better than they were against. I was about to say Sunderland. much better than they were against Switzerland. They like
Sunderland of Europe.
They might as well be. Yeah, Dan James down the left was just a constant outlet. Like he is quite a limited player, but that pace is so useful.
Yeah, we did see he had a cross through to a player at one point where he should have just squared it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And Harry Wilson, really late on. It's like, keep it on the ground, James. He's not that tall.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, like the combination between Bale and Ramsey, I think, and something great about Bale is that at Euro 2016, he was like the leading forward, and everybody else just did the donkey work behind him. Whereas here, he's playing a lot more as like, so he's actually playing on the right. He's coming inside, coming quite deep, and Ramsey is making those.
He's a bit of a decoy, isn't he?
Yeah. Like he's playing as like a playmaker for Ramsey, and Ramsey had 2 chances that he missed. And I was watching with my mum actually, and she felt so bad for him, and then she was so relieved when he scored.
No, because it's literally after every chance he's like, and it's like I hear it, it's a big chance, but it's just like. The type of player Ramsey is, he's always going to make those runs. And I think that's why he was so good yesterday, because it's so interesting, because when you see those third-man runs from a midfielder, it's like, how do the centre-backs not read it? He's literally running past you. But it's like, they don't expect it, because they're looking at Bell out wide and they're thinking it's not going to come in. The ball for his goal was perfect. And he really constantly was making that run. He wasn't shying away from those moments as well. And I think from Euro 2016, when Ramsey got injured, I think that's what kind of threw off Wales's chances of going through. But I think if they can keep them fit, got Dan James, Wilson as well, I think they'll be good, man. Yeah, they'll be good.
I love the pass that you mentioned that Bale played through to Ramsey. The reverse angle, he was watching it like he just hit a golf shot. He was just like, that's a birdie there.
But it's interesting you mentioned Ramsey, because I was actually watching the game yesterday with a Welsh friend of mine who may or may not be in this room, and. He was not very kind to Aaron Ramsey initially.
Really?
And then really quickly changed the tune. I just find it really...
That's what always happens. But that's the type of player Ramsey is, man. When he misses those chances, he's like, come on, you're better than that. But as soon as he gets it, he's like, I love you.
And then he proves that he is better than that by actually scoring.
I felt so bad for him when he missed that chance that he skied over the bar and immediately looked to the lino, like, please say I'm offside, please.
But this is it, like, Wales also missed the penalty. Like, they were close to being the only team, other than Italy, to beat someone else 3-0.
Yeah.
You know?
That pen was mad.
It says a lot about Bale and Ramsey's mentality, that Bale can miss that pen, Ramsey can miss 2 sitters, and they both still keep that performance level really high.
100%. Another player for Wales who, obviously, like Ramsey, Bale, take the plaudits, Dan James, but Kiefer Moore up front has been, you know, really, really impressive. Like, playing that sort of just genuinely proper target man role. He obviously scored against Switzerland, really, really good goal. But his touch as well, I'm going to use the cliche, good touch for a big man, like a properly good touch. Has he been, like, for me anyway, I think it's fair to say he's probably been one of the forwards of the tournament so far?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, not to make it all about Palace, but he reminds me of Connor Wickham in the way that he moves.
Why would you say
that's not an insult. That's not an insult. Connor Wickham used to be good.
Yeah, he did.
He's not anymore. But he's got quite a lot of elegance for somebody so big, and like, he's championship striker, but he looks like he wouldn't be out of place in the Premier League. He's bringing Ramsey and Bale into play really well. And I remember there was a lot of discussion before the tournament about whether he would play or whether they'd go with a false 9. And Page has made the right decision in picking Kiefer Moore for sure.
Yeah, I think it's good that Wales are going with this system, because, like you said, they've got those pieces that they might not be top class, world class, but they do their job right. Kiefer Moore is one of those. Dan James, he might not have the best delivery at all times, but he's always a threat. And they've got Joe Allen Roden. He's like, Roden, I think he had a very good game yesterday, but also this season he's been really good. So if they start believing, and I think they do now with those 4 points, I think they'll be all right.
This is the thing, it's like, so, you know, essentially what we're saying here is that Wales are better. Wales are the true dark horses of this tournament, potentially, you know? So, to put you on the spot, I absolutely love to do this, just like bury people with their own predictions. How far do you think Wales can go? Can they repeat the last Euros?
I think they can. I think they can, and it's a big shout because of the quality in the other teams here. But at the same time, they just, one, they've got the belief. Two, they've got top class players, and three, they've got. I was going to say another word for belief, but yeah,
they got two times
belief. But yeah, no, I think they can go far.
So, I mean, looking at the draw, Wales, if they come second in their group, which they probably will, because I can't see them beating Italy, they're likely to play probably Russia or Finland in the next round. Very winnable for Wales.
Yeah.
I think they'd be heavy favourites at either of those games.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, maybe not semis like last time, but quarterfinals, definitely.
See, this is the thing as well, and it's kind of something we haven't really touched upon, is that, like, Wales, a lot of their players seem to prefer international football to their club football.
Yeah.
Like, Bale especially,
Bale,
obviously.
like, hates club football. He just would rather not. He would much rather, I think, golf like 48 days or weeks of the year and then go on international duty with Wales, and he'd be just as good, right?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of these lads, Ramsey has had a tough time at Juve. You know, and a lot of these lads are like lower league players, like Morel at Luton.
He's a sub at Luton.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was really impressive.
Really impressive. There is no better preparation for European Championships than sitting on the bench at Luton. But like, my point being, it's a really cohesive unit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I know people say it about Southgate's England as well. A lot of the best international teams have that club vibe where they're all happy together.
Closeness, yeah.
And they do have that. Like, that's kind of sort of snowballed on from Euro 2016. So,
and if you don't have that, you have to have plenty of star quality, which is kind of how France are getting through, because I think there's small tensions in the French team. They do have a self-destruct habit, but I think, you know, generally you do need that club mentality, that kind of club cohesion, and the whole together stronger like slogan is like epitomised by this team. Like, you see after the game, Gareth Bale giving like a rousing team talk. Unreal.
Lovely stuff. Also, we should mention that little skirmish at the end of the game.
Oh my God.
Really good fun seeing them scrap.
I've never seen Ben Davies so angry in my life, and I love it. I loved it so much.
Honestly.
Joe Rodon goes down because he's caught an arm to the face, right? Perfectly legitimate. Burak Yilmaz, there's absolutely no need to like slap him in the face. I've never seen Davies that angry, but I rate it so much. It kind of just emphasises how together they are, that they were like backing each other up. And you got like little Ethan Ampadu, who's what, like, I don't know, 21 years old, just like squaring up to this 35-year-old.
Football actually needs that though, man. When I see things like that, it's just like, come on, but die for your badge, fight for your team.
It was beautiful.
It was really good.
And Yilmaz going down as well, in the exact same sort of body movement that Rivaldo went down at the 2002 World Cup when a Turkish player kicked the ball at him. It was just like, it was like he was trying to recreate it, which I just found really fun.
The referee dealt with it well. They're just kind of booking them both, and he just like, there's no need for anybody to get sent off there, which was good to see, because it would have been really gutting for Wales if, like, say Ben Davies got sent off or whatever. It's like, that just didn't need to happen. So yeah, I'm glad that we managed to see the scrap with no kind of damaging repercussions.
Yes, absolutely. You mentioned France and self-destruction. We haven't really spoken about the group of death yet, or as people are calling it, which is really just the group of death for Hungary, because they're probably going to go out.
They're going to die.
They're going to die, unfortunately. What's kind of our thoughts on that group? Like, France obviously they were pretty impressive against Germany. Germany actually weren't that bad either. I mean, they weren't great by any means, but France, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, so it feels like they could just, once they get out of first gear, they can beat any team in the world. Like, there's no one nearly as good talent-wise. But does this Giroud, Mbappe, the fact that Mbappe came out in that press conference and said that at all, like, you want to keep these things in-house. And he generally he doesn't seem like a very, you know, he's not a Neymar figure. You know, where he's a little bit of a diva or whatever.
He's turning into it though. I think Neymar's rubbing off on him a little bit. Like, I think I hear what he's saying, because he said a striker feels that on a game-to-game basis, you're in a position you don't get the chances. Giroud shouldn't have said it. Fair enough, but at the same time, he said it now. He was talking like he's thrown off his whole preparation for the tournament. It's like, bro, come on, like keep it. He doesn't even start with you. Like, Benzema's gonna start. You got what's his name? I've completely forgot his name now. Griezmann. He's gonna play as well. Like, Giroud's gonna come off the bench. It's not gonna be like a big deal. So just keep it moving, man.
But I can understand why Giroud might have been a bit miffed that Benzema got the recall, given the history of, like, when Benzema said that he was a Formula 1 car and Giroud was a go-kart. And and the fact that Giroud started up top for them when they won the World Cup, you can understand why.
Score though.
Yeah,
he didn't score any goals.
Unfortunately for Giroud, Benzema is correct.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's a much better footballer.
He's a much better footballer. He's like.
I can't say he's correct because I love Giroud and he won the Champions League with us and he scored that amazing overhead kick.
Yeah.
So
Giroud's a good player as well, but like Benzema.
But Giroud is what Benzema would be if Benzema didn't score goals for France.
Yeah,
do you know?
Or had no pace.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I do find that interesting. This is it potentially that is Neymar really rubbing off on Mbappe, on Kylian Mbappe,
yeah,
PSG?
He is, but I don't think it's going to throw off France because their team is just. I feel like they know what they need to do. Like they've won the World Cup, so it's now. We need to win the Euros. Even I saw a video of Pogba after when he hugged his mum and he's like, yeah, this is one game, we're going to bring it home. Like, because their team, they are the clear favourites. They've got a world-class or top-class player in every single position and even on the bench as well. So
they'll be fine, won't they? They're not going to self-destruct. But I do, a friend of mine pointed this out to me the other day, my friend Jack, hi Jack, he compared this France team to like Ferguson's Manchester United of the sort of 2007, 2009 era. And we were going through the team player by player and there's like a scary amount of similarities. So you've got like Benzema, your complete striker, who's very much like Wayne Rooney. Yeah. Mbappe, who's very similar to a young Ronaldo, kind of playing on the left and scoring all the goals. Then you've got Griezmann, kind of like the very talented but also really hard-working forward in Tevez. Yeah. Then you've got your destroyer, kind of presser, like nice little neat passer in Kante, creator in Scholes, kind of slightly more deep line playmaker in Rabiot, even down to the fullbacks where you've got Pavard, who's more of a centre back like Wes Brown. Yeah. Like the composition of the France team is so similar to that Fergie team, which is why they can play in any different way. So if France wanted to go on the front foot, dominate possession, and kind of press high, they could do that. But equally against Germany, what they were doing was kind of inviting Germany on because they know that Germany's defence, especially Hummel's, not the quickest. And they've got the quickest forward in the world. So the more Germany come onto them, the more space they're affording Mbappe on the break. And France know that their defence is so solid that they can just keep basically anybody out and then use that on the counter. So that kind of variation in tactical styles that they have, which is similar to that United team, is probably the reason why they'll go far because they've got so many different ways of playing.
Yeah. Like if they don't self-destruct,
they're going to walk it.
Yeah.
They're going to walk it. Even in that game, 1-0 was nice on Germany, to be fair, because that Mbappe goal was mad. Like, I wanted that to be a goal so bad that you said earlier that you tweeted about it. I tweeted about it as well. I'm not deleting it because it was still mad. Go offside or not offside, it was amazing.
And the other one that got disallowed as well. If Pogba had just taken his touch a little bit better and released the ball a little bit earlier, then and the other one was on, like, there could have been 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Germany now, so like, you spoke to Gary Lineker before the tournament and he said that he thought Germany might be like one of the flops of the tournament. He also said that Turkey were his dark horses. But my point kind of being, like, do we think, like, is this Germany team, is it good enough to do anything in this tournament?
I think it is. I think they still got the star quality needed. Even, fair enough, France could have, they went up against the best team
it's the
in
hardest
the competition.
opening game.
But you could see the patches that Germany had good possession and the chance. I think the only problem that they have is the similar problem to Chelsea, is in
that they have
the number 9. Yeah, it's either Timo or Havertz. And with Havertz, you don't get the same type of movement as Werner, but Werner's movement is incredible. So it's like, they have to pick and choose when they play each other. But at the same time, they've got Kroos, Gundogan, Müller was looking good in that game as well. They've Kimmich out wide. Even though we're used to him being in the middle for Bayern, out wide, he's still a big problem.
He kind of has to play out wide, doesn't he? Because they don't have any other great right wing backs. But wherever he plays, you feel like you miss him in the other position. But, I mean, Müller's return has kind of complicated things in attack a little bit, because as good as he is, and he's still world-class, they kind of did have a settled front three of, like, Gnabry, Havertz and Werner. I think Müller's return has kind of taken Werner out of the team, which meant that they didn't really have anybody consistently running beyond the French defence. So I could maybe see them changing that up and bringing Werner back in. So I thought Havertz had some really bright touches, and, like, you know, if he had maybe Werner in the team, then he might have been able to create more chances. But they were almost there, but just something wasn't quite clicking. But I think like their game against Portugal is massive.
I think they'll beat Portugal though. I think they're just so well structured, and Portugal are so reliant on like individual brilliance.
Yeah.
I think Germany will get a goal and then they can literally just sit and
shut
be
down.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of all in agreement that like France are probably going to win the tournament and probably top that group. Like there's France, Portugal, and Germany in that group of death. Hungary are obviously there as well. Do we think that all three of those teams are going to make it through? Like obviously one of the best third place teams needs to go through as well. Do we think all three will go through, or do we think that one of them will get knocked out?
First of all, hopefully one of them do go through as third place, because it'll just be good to have.
Oh, I think you were going to say hopefully they get knocked out.
No. Because I actually want to see all three of them in like games against other teams in other groups. But I think with Portugal, we saw their game against Hungary. Didn't really deserve the 3-0, but they got the 3-0, got the points. If Germany and France do similar, I think that they'll be fine. I think there's definitely a draw in that group as well. I think either Portugal and Germany. If Germany don't take it, I think they're going to draw. So if they get 4 points and the other team gets 4 points as well, I think they've got stand a good chance.
Yeah,
I worry for Portugal a little bit. Like if they
lose,
I think they might lose to if they lose to Germany, and they'll probably lose to France. Then 3 points might not be enough, but it can be enough, can't it?
It can be enough, absolutely.
So it's just a tricky one. I don't really like the whole some third place teams going through thing. You either want 8 groups or 4 groups. I don't like.
Yeah, there's not really a huge amount of jeopardy involved in it.
No, exactly. When only 4 teams are going out, like if you win one game. Like Wales are basically through now because they've got 4 points, which is great for them. But it's it's a tricky one. If Portugal lose to Germany, I would worry for them a little bit.
Yeah. For me, I actually think that Germany there's a chance of them going out, because if Portugal beat them, then you're like, all right,
which is
2
equally
games.
possible.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with football. Any team can win. You know?
Unless you're playing France, in which case
in which case they're going to win the game. Yeah. So that's another hot take of mine. I think Germany are going to go out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
That was a really bad thing to say, actually. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a little segment. I've got a few things hidden in here. So Panini stickers, when it comes to major tournaments, it's just like, you know, it's like peanut butter and jelly, you know? So I've got 5 packs of Panini Euro 2020 stickers. 6, actually. I can't even count, right? And I want you two to randomly pick 1 pack, okay? Each, and I will pick 1 pack, and then we will try and select a 5-a-side team and agree on a 5-a-side team out of all 3 selections.
I haven't actually bought Panini stickers in a very long time.
No?
No, I got very close to completing a pack once, and then didn't quite do it, so it's kind of, I've given up. Anyway, so, I've got a Russia card, but we can't use that. That's Russia.
It's actually,
Right, so I've got Remo Freuler, Swiss central midfielder. Very meh.
Yeah, I was going to say not exactly the hottest ticket in town when it comes to Panini stickers.
Looks like Hernandez.
Croatia, the national team again. Ejgan Alioski, North Macedonia.
And that's pretty good.
He's all right. He's all right. I quite like him. He's a bit mad. And Filip Uremovic of Croatia. That's a terrible pack.
Footballers that I definitely knew existed.
That is an awful pack.
That's not the greatest. All right, cool. Let me open mine. Hopefully we get a few.
You've got to bail me out, Sam.
I'm struggling to open this. Hold on, man. I'm trying to do this all neat as well. I don't know why.
Just rip it. Just go for it.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So I've got... Wait, does this count?
Is that a double?
It's a double.
What's that? Oh.
It's Glick and Kedziora.
Ooh. Show the camera there. Glick and Kedziora.
We'll have Kamil Glick. We'll take him.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Klic from Poland.
Okay.
Half decent.
Yeah? Another Leeds United player?
Yeah.
I mean...
And anyone coached by Bielsa can probably get into
Yeah.
Oh, this is decent. Okay, I got Sufal and Seloska.
Oof. I didn't realise doubles were a part.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but that's a...
All right. This is just going to be an 11-a-side team by the time we're done with it, but yeah.
We got the legend Vida for Croatia.
Okay, nice.
Awful Barnet.
Used to have a sticker of him on my old laptop for some
yes. And we've got Insigne.
Yes.
Come on.
We've got our star man. We've got our star man.
We might actually do something here. We might actually do something in this hypothetical 5-a-side. Okay, so... Ooh... Okay, we got another double. Manuel Locatelli and Jorginho.
Oh, that's
right
nice.
Here. That's good, isn't
Our
it?
team's going to be mainly Italian, isn't it?
So I think what we can do is allow a double, obviously. That counts as two picks.
Yeah.
So we'll put that there. We've got another double, Marlos of Shakhtar and Ruslan Malinovsky, right there, I believe, of Atalanta?
Malinovsky?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm just going to put him there, those two there. We've got Sweden as well. They can't be involved. We've got, oh, this is a good one. Aaron Ramsey.
Oh, love it.
Aaron Ramsey.
Love it.
Someone's celebrating on
Producer
stage.
Alex.
Aaron Ramsey. And then we have Christoph Baumgartner, who I believe is the gentleman who jumped from that satellite in the Red Bull thing.
What?
You don't get that reference, do you?
I don't get that reference, no.
Never mind, he's just a footballer. He's not in that team anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, so then...
I'm so confused.
So we have to pick a goalkeeper. The rules to this this game that we've just made up are very, very strict. So we haven't got a keeper here. So some choices for keeper.
If only we had Kyle Walker.
Yeah, very true. Alioski, quite small. Probably not one to go on goal.
Yeah, but also a bit mad, and that's probably quite good to go in goal.
Yeah, potentially.
Too small though. I'm going Kamil Glick.
In goal?
Yeah.
I'm going Vida, you know.
Really?
Yeah, the height as well. The height and the Barnet in goal. Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Ponytail is quite a keeper.
I'm going to have to agree with Sam on
All
this.
right, yeah, we'll go Vida in goal then.
Sorry, Click. That's our goalkeeper right there. Good luck, mate.
Get the gloves on.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's say we go... In this team, do we want one defender, two midfielders, one up front?
1-2-1, yeah.
Yeah, 1-2-1? Yeah, okay. So who do we want in defence since one of our few defenders is now in goal?
Well, given it's five-a-side,
Yeah.
and energy and aggression is more important than other attributes, I'm having Alioski as our only defender.
Really?
I can see him like tearing across in front of the keeper.
I was going to go with Jorginho, you know. I think that would be a good defender. I thought you was describing him there.
Well, he does it.
See, the unfortunate thing is, right, that, oh, no, I was going to say we can't split them, but they actually do split.
Okay, perfect.
So do we want to have Jorginho as...
At the base of our...
Yeah, as like something of a sweeper. Okay.
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Ripping.
All out attack. All right, sorry,
All right.
Ejgan.
So there you go. Sweeper, Jorginho. This is going to get... People are going to be like, what are you... You guys don't know anything about five-a-side football. Okay, so we've got Vida, we've got Jorginho, who is the first of our two midfielders that we place in this team.
After his performance against Switzerland, I think it's got to be the other half of that double and get Locatelli in there.
Locatelli.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah.
His box-to-box role for Italy has just been unreal. Like, Verratti's going to struggle to get back in after that. So 2 goals from midfield.
Yeah.
Unreal. Get him in.
Yeah, he's in there. What a great week for him, huh? Goal in the Euros, 2 goals in the Euros, and in our five-a-side team. Okay, so next to him...
Has to be Ramsey.
Does have to be
Has to be Ramsey.
Has to be Ramsey, okay. So this is actually quite easy.
His runs in behind won't be as
Ramsey.
effective
No.
on the five-a-side, but I still trust in him to
he'll do a little bit. Okay, so this is actually going to be a really strong team because I know exactly who we're all going to choose to go up front.
Yeah.
And it is...
Lorenzo.
Of course, the one and only Christoph Baumgartner. No, of course it isn't. Get out of here, mate. It is obviously Lorenzo Insigne.
Yeah. This is a strong team.
That's a strong team. I'm going to get rid of these losers that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Get out.
Sorry, lads.
Waste, man. All right.
I'm going to clap them off.
Yeah. Don't clap them off. Hold them off. Don't want them here. All right. So that is a strong team.
That's a very strong team.
So we got Vida, Jorginho, Aaron Ramsey, Manuel Locatelli. It's essentially an Italian five-a-side, you know?
Yeah,
Ramsey's been there as well for a year, so he's going to be able to speak the language.
It's actually very conveniently kind of team of the last few days.
Yeah.
And Vida in goal. Because he was not very good against England.
I mean, that's not a bad team.
No, happy with that, yeah. Jorginho's going to mop everything up there.
He's more there for the vocals, you know what I mean? We're planning on our team not to concede that many chances.
Yeah.
So he's just going to, dictate the play, going to be shouting a lot. He shouts a lot.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think the team, whatever team is unlucky enough to play this team, is even getting the ball in the first place.
That midfield's keeping it. Yeah.
It's absolutely keeping it. I think this beats any of whatever crap teams we play on in Power League.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I was playing at Power League and they rocked up, I would leave.
No, absolutely.
after getting a picture with all of them, I'd leave.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that team.
Yeah, no, that's quality. That's a quality team, man.
Cool. You've been watching Football Trending, delivered by Joe and Domino's. Lads, thanks very much.
Cheers.
See you.
You've been watching Football Trending, delivered by Joe and Domino's.